A very, very warm, good evening. This is Anawat Chaudhary. You are live on another Indian football discussion here on my YouTube channel, arunfoot. And talking about Indian football and all that is happening or not happening in Indian football. We'll have another discussion. And at the start of this discussion, maybe, do like, to share this channel and subscribe as well. And let's keep on growing the community of people who want positive change in Indian football, who want the facts, the truth to come out and not hide behind, So let's see what happens. Good evening, Sterling. Quoting Marcus, Arsenal will not get affected at least for next season till a new MRA is signed. It's wrong. Factually wrong. And this shows you that not all of these people always know what they're talking about. If you don't know, don't reply to it and say, listen, I don't know. As I say, if I don't know something, I'll tell you, I don't know. I just don't know. And sorry, and maybe someone else will have to explain it to you. But saying something for the sake of saying something, to me, makes no sense, because the next season is not covered by the MRA. And exactly as you say, how won't it get affected? How will the season complete if it expires in December? Therefore, for me, again, it shows you that a lot of people are talking about a lot of things these days without actually factually knowing what's happening. And that has been a big, big problem in Indian football. And, so that's the thing. Also thought that the Goa Football Association president was not invited for the I-League ceremony. He claims was initially invited, but then kept out. Supposedly, he beat Trevor for the post of Goa Football Association president. It could be that the AIFF was bullied again to keep him out. There is problem between Caetano and the Alamaos. There's no doubt about it, and it just shows you how murky, how dirty football is at the moment in Goa. Even to Karabas's scene now seems like the rumors are baseless. These transfer experts are a joke. Everyone seems to be an expert today. Sterling, I said the boy has a contract till 2026. I don't see Intakashi wanting to release the player, and therefore, for me, just from a logical standpoint, it just didn't make sense for him to leave. Intakashi. So therefore, what will he have in the Blasters, which you won't have in Intakashi? So for me, it makes no sense at all. And therefore we'll have to wait and see what happens. But to me, always be careful about these rumors. Thoughts on Robson Robinho to Monmouth Supergiant? If this is true, interesting one, surprising one to me as well. But I don't know if Robson Robinho is better than Greg Stewart. It's certainly a different, it's an interesting thought, but yeah, let's see if he does sign for Molbag or not. Hi Karam, your thoughts on Punjab rebuilding again next season? Especially you report Punjab releasing all their foreigners again. Does chopping and changing every season helps football teams? Karam, no, it doesn't. To me, it doesn't. To me, it is a challenge in itself to keep everything sort of running, to rebuild the team every year. So now even with the foreigners, if you can have 3-4 players as a core, at least 3, if not, as I say, 4 players as a core, and then try and build your team around those. And if they're chopping in, they had released Luka Machin last summer, and then Luka Machin was kept, which I think was a very, very wise decision. So therefore, let's wait and see what they do in the end. As I said, Robinho, little surprising because I thought Oscar Bruzon wanted to sign him for East Bengal, but if Robson is the replacement for Greg Stewart, not a bad signing, but is it the same? अपनी भारतीय Bolivian league, how's the Bolivian league? Hannibal, I don't know how good or how bad the Bolivian league is, so therefore I can't say. Abneet has been all over the place, first in Singapore, then in Europe, now in South America. I don't even know how much football he's played over the last years. So I really don't know. How are you, sir? I am good, Shreen. A letter has been presented to AIFF to stop relegation in I-League, but Bajaj is claimed by FSTL Council in Supreme Court today. Yeah, isn't that so? So now we know what the master plan is, right? To create chaos around the I-League and in the end say, you know what? Why don't you stop relegation? Keep everyone in. That's the final plan, right? That's the whole plan of the gentleman. That his team, which correctly got relegated, So let's wait and see. Marcus said that ISL won't be affected. Zorawar, as I've just explained at the start, to me makes no sense. Of course it will be affected because the contract runs till December. So will we finish the ISL by December? Or do we play half of the ISL and then without a contract we will continue? How does that work? And this is the problem. I always say, I would think that a lot of people think they know and understand how things work. If you haven't been in management and worked in these things, I think it's very, very difficult to understand. And that's why I've been warning in front of this situation for a long, long time. Someone actually spoke to me today, called me up. And I told him what I thought about this. And the person said, oops, doesn't sound good at all. And I said, yeah, that's the problem. Do you know what happened to Romeo Fernandez? RS, as far as I know, he plays, I think, in the Goa. Does he play Goa Pro League or does he go play even lower than that? He's playing in Goa, certainly. I think for fun at the moment, if I'm not wrong. Good evening, Gear and Rear. Never heard of Avni Bharti. He's 26. Anything you tell us about him? Sterling, NRI kid, through the parents, was in Europe. Has been a journeyman, first in Europe, now in South America. But I don't even know how good or how bad he is as a footballer. So, sorry, I can't say anything on that. Brazilian player to Hyderabad FC had some news. Okay, Gion Rare. Did you see the video of disregard to Goan FA president by Churchill players? Yeah. It's by their rule book. No, that's the problem. That's the problem at this moment in time. I would say that they're doing it and they say it is ours. We will not give it back. And this is muscle power and all. And I don't think they understand. Still, there is no realization that what has hit them in regard to gas and also I know the AIFF. A lot of people are very, very scared at this moment in time. And therefore, these are things which are there, right? So therefore, for me, it is a very, very, very complex situation, I would say. But let's see what happens, right? And it is, what to say. Which club in ISL do you think can give Edmund good playing time? I think it depends on if Interkashi get promoted, maybe Interkashi. I think he knows the setup. The club knows him, So I would think that. Otherwise, I don't really know which club would give him a realistic chance to be a regular in their team, right? So therefore, for me, that's the question with him, and it's a difficult question because I think for an Indian player to come up from the I-League to play in the ISL at this moment in time is going to be difficult. And it doesn't matter if it's Edmund or anybody else, especially as a striker. That position has been tough, is tough, will be tough, right? So I don't know. I don't know if he can be that difference player and get that regular playing time that he thinks he hopes or believes that he could get, and therefore, yeah, that's going to be the big question. I think not only well, it's going to be a big question for Edmund, I guess, or for anybody else who plays. Finalist predictions. Arnav, I think all 4 teams could play in the final. I think that if you ask me, and again, I might be wrong, but if you ask me, my feeling would be saying it's a Mohun Bagan versus Mumbai City final. But yeah, let's wait and see what happens, because we've had a lot of things happening here, there, and to me, that's, if you ask me, that's a real possibility. But I would say that yeah, that's a that is what my gut feeling is at the moment. But again, as I said, I could be totally wrong. Also, why would Chennai FC buy Kian, Irfan, Gurkir, Farouk, all natural seconds, and give them even worse play time? As for these players are ruining their careers with bad decisions. Sterling, yeah. Kian to me is not a striker. Kian to me is a winger, to be very clear. Farouk also can be a striker, but can be a 10, can be a winger as well. Yeah, Irfan has gotten his time. Let's be honest about it. He's been getting playing time, but Gurkir had got nothing, close to nothing, I have to say. And from that perspective, I think that's the challenge with these players, right? That they make the right decisions in regard to where they go next. I heard Robson is very injury prone, bad signing in my opinion. Zoravar, again, a Brazilian coming from Bangladesh to here. Let's wait and see. Again, I would rate, if you ask me, if you have to compare him, if he's the replacement for Greg Stewart, Greg for me is of a higher level. So there's an audio of Alamao to news channel that he won't return the trophy. Yeah. So Rahul says that as well. They don't realize, as I said now a few times, in my opinion, they don't realize that what kind of a beast is potentially going to hit them. I think that's the problem that the Churchill brothers has at the moment, that they don't realize that they're messing, forget what they've been doing within India. So therefore, to me, yeah, they're chopping the branch, they're sitting on nothing else. They've done this a few times over these decades, and somehow they've survived. And this is also the fault of the AIFF over the years, that they've allowed these clubs to continue to do these things. Yeah. So therefore, for me, nothing new. It's like AIFF is joking with us at this point. Ranjal, with us? What does it mean with us? Does the AIFF care about you? Do you think the AIFF cares about you? Or about me? Or about any one of us? That's your first mistake that you're doing. Churchill Alamao gives vibe of a criminal guy turned into politician. Hanipa, that's what they are. Yeah. Is it true that Churchill brothers owners were involved in gold smuggling? Sterling, I don't know what their key business was, or what, I don't know. Mohun Bagan to beat a full strength FC Goa, interesting. Sterling, it's just my feeling. Again, even Jamshedpur is playing a full strength team against Mumbai City. I don't know why, but I have a feeling that these two will battle it out for another title. How many signings are confirmed till now? Pranjal, is there any signing confirmed at all? I think it's all speculation at this moment. If this stubbornness continues, can we expect serious sanctions against those wicked, crooked clubs? Yes, and the fines could be that heavy that these entities could be forced out of business, because I don't think that they will be able to cough up whatever would be necessary to get those things cleared. I think these people don't realize the beast that they potentially would be taking on. Churchill brothers wanted to shut down last year. Perhaps they're going to use all this to say that the system was against them and walk away. Sterling, they've said, I don't know how many times, you know, they've shut down or wanted to shut down, walked away, come back. Yeah, it is not new. It is not new. It is something which has been there, and it's a problem for Indian football, right? This is overall for Indian football a huge problem we face at this moment in time. That these kind of entities who, my question is, what value are you adding to the system? What, being there, right? Okay, you're winning, you're this and that. Okay, fine. My question to any entity in Indian football: what are you adding for the development of Indian football? What is your value in that area? And that is where most of these entities fail. So so therefore for me, it's a yeah, let's see. My finalists: FC Goa versus Mumbai City FC. Okay, so Rawat, as I said, I just say that's my feeling. My feelings might be wrong in that sense, but my feeling was that I feel, I think, for whatever reasons, that Mohun Bagan Mumbai City might be the final. But again, as I say, it's just a feeling, and I might be totally wrong. This fiasco feels like the 90s Indian football scene. Uchud, yeah. This is, they're crazy. I mean, if East Bengal and Mohun Bagan now got involved, then it would be really 90s style. But to me, yes, you're very, very right, because this whole scenario, this whole mess that we are in is just, I mean, it's not even funny anymore, right? It is so bad that it's going to be, how do we get out of this? And yeah, that's the thing. Don't know about gold smuggling, but he's running taxi mafia in Goa, and is one of the reasons of tourist decline in Goa. Yeah, don't know. That's on you, Hannibal. In your opinion, who's been the best foreign player in ISL history? Not talking about goals and impact, just who was technically so much better than everybody else. If you want to go best foreigner on that, it has to be either Ilano Bloomer or Diego Forlan. One of those two guys, most probably. And then of course we could add, but they didn't have much of an impact. All those former World Cup winners, Euro winners, we had in season one, albeit Alessandro Del Piero, David Trezeguet, Freddie Ljungberg, Nicolas Anelka, all these guys, let's see. So will the new constitution for AIFF revamp the election process of state FA? No, unit is just, first of all, only for the AIFF. Ajare to me. Sterling, Ajare has just been there for a season. So, a lot of impact, yes, but I think there have been bigger ones. Bajaj or Chak the Football Channel says that Cas will go against Interkashi. Yeah. What else has can he say, right? What according to you could be the final decision on promotional relegation? See, the future devil to me, promotional relegation, ISL is not a finished product. As a league, it's still in its infancy, in my opinion. It is not, because we have to look at the financials, and the financials are really, really bad at this moment in time for everyone involved. So if you want to build it to a certain level, I would not say that this is the time to talk about promotional relegation. Right? Promotion, yeah, maybe. But if we start relegation, we're going to lose clubs. We're going to lose entities. Hi, methamphetamine. Another day, another drama. Goa football seems more about politics off field than on field games these days. Yeah. I mean, it's going to a level of to me, it is going to the level of just sheer embarrassment. And then, someone was asking me yesterday about the legacy of these old Goan clubs and what they did and all that stuff. We're not talking about that, right? Goan football is not about talent development, player development anymore. Of course, you have players coming through, but it is everything else. I'm surprised. Isn't there a few sane people who can really navigate through this crisis? And political will, of course. There is no political will. Yes, there are sane people, but would these sane people come forward? But that would be my question. Why would someone want to come forward? Best foreign player, Helda Postiga, says Shamal. Okay. Bajaj and Takashi can't go to class, leave that what he says. Bajaj is smartest when he's asleep, no action or speeches. Oh, that's a nice one. Should put that out as a tweet. One of the best ISL foreigners to me, Bart Ogbeche. Yeah, Roshan? The Bartman? Yeah. Very lot of impact. I mean, if you want to talk about impact players, then I would say Korominas has to be mentioned, right? So yeah. I saw an Instagram reel where Joe Morrison was strongly advocating for more ISL teams. What do you make of this? Tobo, with all due respect to Joe, it shows me that he doesn't understand what he's talking about, right? And to me, growing the ISL is not the point at the moment, because we don't have enough players at this moment in time to grow the league. As long as this is not understood by people, if the people involved or the people around don't understand that, then to me they're not qualified, because the standard has gone down dramatically in the last 2-3 years, right? And what is coming up from the lower levels is not actually competing with these players. So to me, the problem is, if I'm going to grow the league, so the top players' salaries will go even further higher because there's an even bigger fight around them. And the mid-rank players will get very good salaries. That's great for the players, and to me, yeah. And then we have too many players who shouldn't be there. Goals, assists, technicality, Javi Hernandez in recent times. Kaushik, good choice. I saw him late Jan for Jamshedpur FC against Punjab FC, and he was the sole reason that Jamshedpur FC won. And nobody can tell me about tactics, this, that, lot, blah, 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 blah. No, it was that one player with his brilliance, with his, for example, he forced the goalkeeper into a mistake. It's class player, Javi Hernandez. Hi, Hypermaster. I am good. Hope you're good as well. I still don't get why Chakde Football gives Bajaj chance in his channel. So I will ask him that. These guys they've grown because of that, right? So let them do that, whatever they think is right for them. I wish them all the best. But again, to me, a lot of these channels are not doing the duty that they should, which is, they say they're doing all of this for Indian football, but they're not. They're harming Indian football. And that is one thing, a realization which needs to be there, but which is not there, right? So therefore, for me, as you know, I do my things a little differently, and I'm very happy with that. And I'll continue to do the way that I do it. And I know I'm due quite a number of interviews. I need to get going with that. Sir, for development for any player, what is more important, playing time or level of the league with less game time? Utsav, these are it depends on the player, I would always say, right? So therefore, you can't give a general judgment. I would always say for players, important is playing time at the right level. Yeah. But also, competition. And to me, that's the thing, right? So therefore, very, very mixed. Recently said he's neutral. Zorawar, if you're giving platform to these people, you are not neutral. You are trying to milk the system because you're giving a platform to these people. That's what these guys are doing, all of them, right? If you exclude marquee signings who were signed in the first few years, in my opinion, Miku and Edu Garcia were really good. Yeah. again, RSU, others have mentioned names as well. The list could go on and on, right? Everybody will have maybe different names of really good signings. But again, to me, the question was about one of the best technical players, and from the technical aspect, I would say that if I look at Elano and I look at Diego Forlan, those two would have been amongst the tops. If ISL says, sorry, no more us in ISL, will it be feasible to find new investors given the books of losses of FSTL? Kaushik, if FSTL walks away, there is no ISL. Who will do that? Everybody's, and the people don't realize that if the ISL shuts down, how many of these teams will remain? And I'm not just talking about teams in the ISL, I'm talking teams potentially in I-League, I-League 2, right? Who's Joe Morrison? What does he know about Indian football? Joe is a television sports presenter. That's what he is. Robson is just ridiculous signing, in my opinion, not even good for ISL. Angry Birds, again, I'm a little surprised because that doesn't fit in the way. Yeah. Let's see. Exactly what Churchill Bird is doing, an example of how what Goan clubs do gets eclipsed with the unnecessary drama of backing out, shutting down and protesting. JF is also now a part of clownery. Yeah. That's been, and you're very right, it's not the first time. This is what Salgaonkar said, what Dempo said, what Churchill said. Churchill came back, what even Sporting Club de Goa said. So, yeah, it's a problem. Would have been interesting to see Barreto play ISL. He had single-handedly saved Mohan Bang on countless occasions. Yeah, Jose Ramirez Barreto, Uchut, class player, and someone, always a gentleman. Yeah. Gute Nacht, Simon. Gute Nacht means good night. So should I shut the show now? Should we continue? Good night. Guten Abend would be good evening. Gute Nacht means good night. Can't AIFF just convince Saudis to invest in ISL? They seem to be investing money in every sport. Why would they, RS? Just simple question. Why would they invest in Indian football? Why would anyone at this moment in time, that where we are or what it is, right? Guten Abend. Yeah, you realize it yourselves. The days of these people will put Indian football fan within themselves above the YouTubers inside them when they're about inviting such intellects from Chandigarh. Wow, Kaushik, hard one. When you meet Ranjit Bajaj, you sit for coffee or dinner and debate with him on how to do things. Rohit, I've not sat with him privately for a while, and at this moment in time, I would surely love to meet him for a coffee and have a discussion on a few things and tell him. He will tell me, no, I'm right, and I will tell him, no, I am right, and so therefore for me, at the moment, no point. What does Metaphor mean by his comment on Goan clubs? Frank, Goan clubs in 2014 when the ISL started, or even before that, actually, teams, when the club licensing started, threatened to pull out. Churchill and United Sports were two teams who were put out of the league because they didn't fulfill licensing criteria. And then ISL came around, and then ISL became more important. We had the incidents around the ISL final, so the clubs have pulled out in the past and created a lot of chaos. So therefore, it is all not hunky-dory about the Goan clubs, right? So that's the thing. Right, nearly half an hour. Let me get you guys to welcome everybody here, and if you like what you're hearing, what you're seeing, do, as I say, leave a like behind. 9 likes so far. Share with other people to potentially join in our conversations, and of course subscribe to the channel so that we can continue to grow the channel. We're at 2,522 subscribers. Thank you very much, everybody. What's with people talking German in comments? So Ravar, I guess that they're trying out their German of saying hi, hello in German, as they know that I'm based in Germany and, of course, a citizen of the Federal Republic of Germany and speak German. What do you make of Hyderabad FC's move to Delhi? Doesn't it send a negative message across ISL that the teams are still franchisees, not clubs who are committed to a city? The fan bases won't spring up. Methamphetamine, it was clear from the onset that when BC Jindal came forward, that they would shift to Delhi. So that was clear at that time. And so to me, and this will be the next move, right? This Pune city to Hyderabad FC, now to Delhi. Yes, and this is a franchise per se, but again, that's the problem of different owners and clubs committed to cities or to regions, so yeah. So therefore, it's a catch-22 situation about what is right, what is wrong. It is sad. Again, it was sad for the Pune fans. It's sad potentially to the Hyderabad FC. One thing I like about Alamaz is, sir, his loyalty towards his principle of lawlessness. Wow, Kaushik, that's good. So can you explain why AIFF and FCL are in court? I'm not well aware. FCL is not in court. It is about the All India Football Federation new constitution, which is being discussed at the Supreme Court, and people have had now their chance to interject, to intervene, and also get, so therefore they are in court. Ancelotti, Brazil coach, your thoughts? I guess Real Madrid will be happy to get rid of him, it seems like, even though he's been their most successful. So that's one. And Brazil, Brazil need a good coach to sort them out. Brazil has a very talented team, but they've been a mess. And yeah, let's wait and see. Is Robson to Monmouth Supergiant even true? Hannibal, it seems to be the talk of the day. I've been also told it's confirmed. But yeah, nothing. We'll have to wait. As I always like to say, we'll have to wait until Mohun Bagan Supergiant themselves come forward and publish and say, listen, we've signed XYZ player. Sergi, as players, actors need to follow current affairs for national interest. This is basic needed. Okay, Hypermaster. Recruitment of foreigners in ISIS is not well these days. It's not even about money, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that money is splashed on all players. Yeah, I would agree with you on that, methamphetamine. Sir won't sit with Bajaj for next 12 years because after meeting them, Sir would have to go for Pragaraj Mahakumbh to get the sin washed away, and Kumbh will be after 12 years only now. Kaushik, yeah, there's some good ones at the moment. Very good ones. Onaba, the news of Leverkusen. Yes, they're true. Bayer Leverkusen has licensing issues because the highway which runs across from the Bayer Arena, the A1, will have to be rebuilt, and certain portions of the parking of Bayer Leverkusen, their training facilities, would have to be utilized for that. And therefore they have to rebuild. They're supposed to build a new complex in Monheim. They've got land over there, lovely location actually. But let's see if Bayer can build that in time. But again, they will find a solution. They will not lose their license as such. But in theory, they could lose their license. Yes. So how do you rate Arne Slot's season at Liverpool FC? No signing and winning the Premier League and topping the UCL group stage is not normal. Flick is doing it at Barca. La Masia magic is with him. Kaushik, I think Arne Slot, again, on a day that the Premier League has said that they're going to have an office in Mumbai, but still have to talk about it, is, I guess, Arne Slot winning doesn't speak for the Premier League, right? Because why? Man City has been the dominant force. Pep's team this year one player, Rodri injury, and Man City were no longer the same team. But for me, the main thing is that Arne Slot got a working team from Jurgen Klopp, got a quality team from Jurgen Klopp to work on, and therefore they gelled. I think certain players wanted to prove a point as well. Certain players stepped up. On the other side, Hansi Flick took over calmly, quietly as he is. Gave a lot of young players a chance in Barca. Both have impressed. But again, for Slot, Champions League, PSG was the end, and Flick has the opportunity to get past Inter Milan. So let's wait and see how far he got in Champions League. Will Hannibal move to Delhi resort renovation of Ambedkar Stadium? Hannibal, I don't know which venue they will be using if they move this summer. People who've seen the cult Bengali movie Dhoni Mein, kudos to the girl, will find the current state of affairs pretty similar whims or fancies of few people. Yeah, which is very, 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 very difficult. Even if Churchwards get favor in caste somehow, I don't think FSA will allow them in ISL after Mount Sporting fiasco. So, my opinion, I don't see, even if Churchill had won the league, I don't see Churchill Brothers playing in the ISL. What will be the name of the new team from Delhi City? I don't know, Manjab, at the moment. Let's move. Let's let them confirm the move first. Again, they've been saying they're going to move, but there are also still attempts by the Telangana government to keep them in Hyderabad. So let's wait and see what happens. So I heard Hyderabad is moving to Delhi. They're looking for a full stadium there. Do we even have any? Karam, I said, yes, it looks likely that they will move to Delhi. There are 2-3 potential stadiums. Ambedkar is there. Jagaraj is there. So let's see. While they have it in our banger, I'm loving every bit of the circus show. Yeah, Simon, the less one says, the better. But again, as I reiterate, that's why I did an update on the so-called Indian football circus in regard to the AIFF edition. And do watch those videos. Yesterday did something longer in regard to Interkashi and all. It's difficult, and we'll have to wait and see what happens in the next few days and weeks. Angry Bird says, now that Robson's a done deal according to MBFT, one of the worst signings. Yeah. And we'll have to wait and see. As I said, it doesn't make sense. What's your prediction for UCL? RS, if you ask me, I would like to see a Barca PSG final. That should be fireworks. The sessions with Jane Akshata were nice ones. Any plans of restarting? What should timings here and wants to do a little earlier. Akshata, of course, has her other stuff to do. So, so that's the thing. Sergey, we also ban bilateral to FIFA matches, ban with Bharat, Pakistan, and cricket. This is the demanded topic. Hypermaster, you can't do that. Bilateral bans are not allowed because in cricket you can do that. Don't compare cricket to football. And in football, for example, if India and Pakistan are drawn to play each other and they don't, and for example, one of the teams doesn't host the other, that calls for a ban then. Why is Premier League open office in India? What are they planning to do? Hannibal, it's about PR, promotion, and potentially generating revenues. Slot in his Dutch accent once called City unintentionally. Okay, Kaushik, nice one. What do you think is the reason why Italy is struggling and world football they're struggling to qualify for World Cup? So honestly, I don't know. They still have talented players. Again, Italy doesn't have the big names that we would talk about 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years ago. So that's one thing. But it seems to be, I don't know, there seems to be some problem with them at the World Cup. People often say that Indian genes are inferior, particularly when it comes to physical attributes like height. For instance, we compare the Indian football team to the European counterparts. There's a noticeable difference in height. Many European players are around 6'5" or even 6'9". However, when born up, compared to those born in India, players in even if players are from India, the difference in environment, diet, positive plans seems to have an impact on the physical development. Okay, so you're saying 6'5", 6'9", not in football. If 5'5", 5'9", right? Not 6'5" or 6'9". I don't know where you got those stats from, Goku. And I don't want to go into this whole genetics part, because then a lot of countries would not be successful in sports. Asking out of curiosity, I'm not well versed with finances, expenditure costs, but how much rent teams pay to play ISL matches in stadiums with a good financial move if they build small stadium and move? No. I would say I can't give you exact numbers. I know the one other number, but I don't know if I'm supposed to get out in public space. But building a stadium is first of all, the logistics of doing it is difficult. And again, how are you going to spend 250, 300 crores? I don't know how many years you would be able to rent, or decades you would be able to rent a stadium for that price. As expected, Destroy Winterford was filed for no delegation in I-League this season at his favorite place, Delhi High Court. Yeah, and he's not allowed to go to Delhi High Court. Huh? So that could be a reason for us to get banned. Some of the so-called well-wishers of Indian football trying their best to stop getting relegated. Sad to see people here working for their own interests and don't care about Indian football. RRC game, that's the problem. From Jackson Irvine to Robson. Jackson Irvine was never in the running, if I'm informed properly, here in Germany. So this is an Indian rumor. Someone, I think he liked a post by someone, I think, and then the whole thing started. One word for AIFF. At the moment, disaster. Who's the world's best keeper and the most promising upcoming one? It's going to be amongst, who is it? Donnarumma would be on the list. Amongst the best. Who else? Mamadashvili, maybe, yeah. See, we don't have that many. The exceptional generation is gone, huh? With Neuer, Courtois. Difficult. And the young ones, look out, there's some very good German keepers coming up. We've got a very talented German generation, Noah Atabulu, Finn Dahmen, Jonas Obich at Bayern also. So, yeah, look at the German ones if you want talented ones. Where is Mohnbagan going to play Robinho in the team? This move is just making me confused. Is Ashik worse than Robson? And I don't think he's a replacement of Greg as Scam. But that's my logic. I mean, but I don't know if someone has planted the story. My mistake. I mean, 5'6", 5'9". So the Indian players you're saying are not 5'6", 5'9"? Who says that? Yeah. Do regular football fans support teams that don't qualify for European tournaments watch UCL, or do they just mostly go to watch the local clubs on weekends and national teams whenever they play? There are different kinds of fans. Some watch Champions League, some don't bother really, to be very honest, about that level of football. Others, bother a lot. So there are these, there are those, right? A lot of fans actually have maybe two teams, three teams that they support. For example, that they support a local team, and then they support, let's say, one of the big teams in their countries, or people support, I don't know, Real Madrid, Barca, or some of the other big teams. Sergi, my dream, I want to see Kalinga best president of FIFA, just like Jay Shanji. Oh God, yeah, you're laughing yourself, sir. Hypermaster, nice one. Sir, a tactic controversial question. Who would you rate as a better coach tactically and play plans? Habas Lobera at Mumbai, Juan at FC Goa, or Manuel Harib at the Sea? Ignore the trophies while answering, just tactics. See, player would always pick Lobera because he always has an attacking instinct. Tactically, Habas, yeah. Mm, yeah. It's between Habas and Lobera, I would say, if you ask me, Kaushik. Which country, in your opinion, has improved dramatically in international football in the last 2-3 years? There is one or two countries in Africa. I don't remember which one are doing very well in African qualifiers for the World Cup. We have to talk about Indonesia. We have to talk about Uzbekistan. Yeah. What's up with Hitesh Sharma? Blows hot and cold. Other players are inconsistent games. If there is one good season and then goes missing the next one or two. Ishan, Hitesh has had a tough time. At Mumbai, also struggling with injuries. Seems like he's sorted now and he's back to his better self. And Hitesh Sharma, on a better level of a player, is someone I guess anybody would be happy to have in his team. How dare someone speak against my idol Bajaj? He's as good to Indian football as a termite is to mango garden. Kaushik, I guess if there was an award for the most funniest statements today or the most sarcastic ones, that would go certainly to you. It will be very interesting to see how the run up to the World Cup 2026, given the present global scenario. Yeah, Ucho, there is a lot of problems, and if Mr. If it continues as it is, interesting to see. Obuk, Atobolo Siemens, not German though, Fabrügen, Mohamed Ashwili, and Araya says Koshik. 16, 17 years. No, you're telling me that, we've had 6-foot players. What is resilience, Anthony at Betis? Yeah. My case is slightly different now. I follow Indian football more than European football, probably because I don't have a dog in the fight, but now looks like we'll be back to European football. Oops. Hope not, Ishan. Who's the best find of ISL this season for you? Best find? Foreigners has to be amongst Aladin Ajare, Alberto Rodriguez. Yeah, I think those two. And Indians, yeah. Bryson, most probably. India's producing 40-year-old cricketer scoring fastest T20 century was struggling a decent footballer. General question, guys. Is the boy 14? Just asking the question, we have the problem with age in India. So just asking, is he really 14 or will he turn out to be, I don't know, 3, 4, 7, 8, 10, 12 years older? After Super Cup, what next in football? Tournaments, friendlies, exposure trips. Frank, the next will be India versus Hong Kong in the World Cup qualifiers. India versus Thailand friendly. And then a few days later, India versus Hong Kong in the AFC Asian Cup 2027 final round qualifiers. And there is a certain break, and then I don't know what next, because again, we depend on what happens with the Indian calendar. South Sudan is playing good qualifiers. Yeah, South Sudan was one of the countries. How has the growth of Vietnam football flattened over the last couple of years? Ishan, failures of the national team, and then you think things are not going right. I don't think any country dramatically improves. They do good and then have a good spell of players and form with a good coach and get limelight. Yeah, that's a problem. I think that we talk in very short cycles. I think there are a lot of nations who do better here and there. and who've risen, and then so yeah, you're right. Yeah, Vietnam regrets dramatic despite investing so much in grassroots. So now, let's see, maybe the next generation, and yeah. Sergio, I'm a little sad for 2034. Why 2034? Almanos have a dictionary, but with the word hypocrite missing because they say win on pitch, not in court, but they went to uh, TSC, a disciplinary committee in 2023. Masses and yeah, real Kashmir, and yeah, again, same thing. A little World Cup India co-host. Acha, no, not happening. I'm confused. Why Indians use sir a lot, even outside college and office? It's common in Germany too. Is there a word in German language that people use to show respect to elders or something like that? No, we don't say sir. It's an English thing, no? It's brought in by the British. We are much more, so yeah. Sir, predictions for tomorrow. I somehow feel Mohun Bagan will win the first semi-final, and the second semi-final Mumbai City will win. Let's see. He was getting carried by his father and arm back in 2017, says Saravar. Even Boria Road rested, there seems to be question around Suryavanchi's age. For a 14-year-old to be whacking around that, wow, I don't know. That 14-year-old T20 kid would have been banned by now if he was a footballer. I don't know why, but yeah. Will Aspire Academy like Ngata work in Indian context? Why not? I mean, I don't understand why would it not work in a football context, would be my question to you. Because yeah, Aspire as a system, offering the best of, it's to me it makes sense to have something like that. Now, Mohan Super Giant have partnered with AIFF, AIFF, SAF, AFC, CAS, FIFA to take a toll on my health. Surely my health is gonna take a hit just because of their alliance. Okay. It brings tears to eyes watching war-torn nations winning against Biggies, and then there are 11 Tigers of India toothless. Yeah, Kaushik. Thoughts on Boria Mojumdar? Sterling, I've worked with him in the past. He's a colleague. Sad to see we missed 2000 World Cup co-host with Saudi Arabia and India 10 matches. Rati, it's lollipop. I don't know where it's coming from, but yeah. Is it physiologically surprising for a 14-year-old to hit the ball with that power? As a non-cricketer, I would say yes. Hi, Pujan says, yeah, Arunda is actually 14. He was literally a kid a few years ago, played a great knock yesterday. Kudos to Radha to boost the confidence of that kid, the silent worker of Indian cricket. Okay. His age is around 14, 15, not more than that. Okay. Just show me this real birth certificate, and I would be fine. Or pictures nowadays, again, if he's 14, born 2011, 2012, 2010, 2011, there should be pictures around. As in, will that model help improve Indian football like Aspire as a center of excellence? So, yes, center of excellence, of course. Forget Indian football. Aspire is a center of excellence for sports, right? And the center of excellence for sports in an Indian context would help us 100%, more than 100%, because that's a level of competition. The level of exposure to training methods, to world-class coaches, to the world's best sports science. All of that would help, of course. As of Indians saying sir, Indian get mocked globally. Westerns say sir to mock Indians. Okay. Where does that have? Not PSG or Arsenal today, sir, at Emirates. Now, key players to look out. As I said, to me, I would prefer PSG over Arsenal. I'm liking at PSG has been put together over the last few months. If you think about it, in the first half of the Champions League campaign, not doing well, needed a win on the final match day against Stuttgart. That got them that far, and from that perspective, it is going to be interesting to see. And to me, not sure. I mean, it's going to be Desiree Doué, for example, who's been, Mendes, Vitinha, Bakula, maybe if he gets a chance. So PSG has some options, I think. And of course, at the back, Donnarumma and Arsenal, of course, have also, Saka will be a key one. Let's wait and see. Sergi, some chat shows were already removed incomplete chance. I can understand why this chance. Okay. Write it again now, and then I'll try. Pages, Bakula, Doué, Scalia, of course. Neves, Vitinha, and Mendes. Yes. Metafetamine says Gaurav Mukhi age was scandalous, but I think another one almost equally, but what arose was that Aniket Yadav age fraud for India, except am I right? Was there an age fraud with Aniket? I thought the whole team wasn't. Anyway, let's not get into that comment. Gaurav Mukhi was not even fun, huh? I think in the end he turned out to be 28, right? I mean, we're not even talking about a little bit, but so therefore that's a little bit too much, I would say, but that's what happened, and therefore it's not happening. It's not helping Indian football per se as well, and let's see. Arsenal plays block football defensive, or PSG is just the opposite. It's going to be fun. I hope so, Kaushik. Remember the 16-year-old with mustache, Gaurav Mukhi, and it was such an embarrassment for not only Jamshedpur FC but also for the ISL. I remember that they had to sort of backtrack and say, God, what happened here? So as I said, he was getting carried by his father on his arms back in 2017 in an image. Okay. So that's 8 years ago, six or seven. Okay. Greatest Indian to ever play football. Gaurav Mukhi plays Cape football now. Yeah, well, that's this Gaurav Mukhi story was insane. And anybody who looked at him and thought, guys, he's not 16. Sorry. I mean, we can talk about a lot of things, but he's not 16. Gaurav Mukhi led to global embarrassment. I saw some people making fun of it who don't even watch ISL. Ishan, happily it happened a few years ago. If it would have happened now, it would be one of the top memes in the world of sports, or generally even. This age scandal happened with Kalra of his United cricket team. He literally scored century in U19 final, then got charged with age fraud. Oops. Hello, sir. As per news, Robson Robinho to Mohan Bagan is done deal. Retarded management, another unbalanced squad, and a mistake third season. Bro. Yeah. So, yeah. To me, this signing makes no sense. Honestly, makes no sense at all. With all the players that Mohan Bagan have been linked to, I don't know. Let's see. Right, nearly an hour now into this live on this Tuesday, 29th of April. If you're liking the conversation, leave a like behind, 15 likes so far, share it with other people to join in. And also, if you want to come back for regular content, do subscribe to the channel. Yes, we have now more than 2,500 people as subscribers. Thank you very much, everybody. And welcome to the new ones. And let's keep on growing the community and getting more people involved. And also, my request to you again and again, if you come on the site, do look at the daily videos that I try to do. I did something today about AIFF status. What's the situation? Yesterday, did something on the situation surrounding AIFF, Interkashi Churchill Brothers, and of course, the day before that about the SAF postponement. So therefore, watch these videos. And as always, thanks for your support. I went to the Anfield Arena the day before yesterday. The scenes were incredible. Indeed, they are one of the most vocal fan bases in the world. What an anthem. It was surprisingly, it was safe. Why are you surprised? I mean, Anfield is it's not a place for trouble. At least I would have said, if you ask me. I would have thought that Anfield would be a place for trouble. So therefore, a little surprised that it's saying that. Gujarat Super League starting again on Thursday with second edition. Yeah, they're going into the second edition. Short league. But again, Gujarat, that is, football is happening, I think is good. Kalra got banned from cricket, is now a YouTuber. Okay, interesting, Sudhavar. I've seen Europeans mocking Gukesh chess player being older than his age. Okay. Good night, methamphetamine. Catch you soon. Speaking of Gaurav Mukhi, where is he at the moment? Sudhavar, I don't have a clue. Good question. Someone was saying a little, I don't know if it was a joke or was meant seriously. Maybe he's playing Cape or somewhere. Maybe he's playing locally over there, but I'm not heard about him. They probably sign every single attacker possible in market. Blue, that's that's one of those problems, right, that we have at the moment with the players. And very interesting to see what happens. Like my doubt, if you get a decent AIFF, but how can they make the non-functioning state FA work? Renal, not every state is non-functioning. So that is your first mistake of thought, you know. There are state FAs who are working, and the job of the AIFF was and is to work with the state FAs to push them to get the work done. And that's the challenge that is there for the AIFF, and that's the job of the AIFF. Good night, sir. Thanks for your answers. Beg we get more people like you in mainstream football governance. Thank you, Kaushik. Thank you for that. Till then, loves to Bajaj. Even if the word is against him, I will be with the word. Nice one. What was Muki's actual age? Zaravar, if I wasn't wrong, it was 28 instead of 16. Not a joke. He really plays Cape tournaments in Jharkhand. Okay, so that answers your question, Zaravar, what Gaurav Mukhi is doing these days. I agree. The kid won't be over 15, given his previous records as well. It looks quite clean. I hope he can handle the expectations and pressure. He should keep away from media and follow Dravid only. Pujan, it's one hopes for such young athletes in any sport when they come in and they're kids, right? He's a kid. I mean, he's playing like a pro, but he's still a kid. And so much of things will now pile on top of him. I hope he does, right? So we've seen in Indian football how many young players have not been able to take that next step. It's a challenge. It's a challenge. And so I wish this kid all the best and that he can really achieve great things in his sport. Mohun Bagan Supergiant versus FC Goa. Make a prediction with scoreline. Orithro, I said earlier on that I think Mohun Bagan will win. And scoreline, maybe 2-1. Yeah, maybe 2-1. So age difference of 12. Yeah. I wouldn't know anyone else who's had that kind of an age difference. I mean, we can talk about age difference, but that's not even age difference. That is something, yeah. Where is Thailand versus India match venue? Akum, I've not heard anything so far where the match will take place. It will take place in Thailand, but I don't know where. Sachin got hyped when he was 16 years old. Yeah, but Zorawar, Sachin Tendulkar or Pele or Federer, these guys, they are generational talents. Is the non-offering of 50 crore delaying AIFF to make a decision to sign or not sign? I don't even know if conversations are happening. Where's the conversation happening? Hi, Akum. So thoughts about Interkashi's Edmund Narendika. Naveen, Edmund is reaching an age where I can't call him talented anymore, right? He's 24, 25, I think. Um, so therefore, a good player, has done very well for himself in the recent past. But again, can he go up that next level? That's going to be the test for him, right? So therefore, for me, we can talk about a lot of things, but if he doesn't move up that next step, then it's a waste, and that's what he needs to do. Become a regular, and yeah, that's the thing. Data safety in a sense, if I compared with the level of COC and the intake I saw before the match, I never saw the volume of dry intakes taken before, but they were all very nice and sober. Okay. 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 It's in Thailand. It's a women. Yeah, Naveen said it in Thailand. Is footy the toughest sport to crack in the world? I would say yes. If you ask me, Renal, that way, I would say yes, because I think there's no other sport in which you have 200 plus countries participating. No sport. So therefore, from that perspective, football will always be the toughest sport to crack. Yeah. So therefore, I would say, yeah, it's the toughest. In multiple interviews, he said he was 14. He's still 14 after this. Okay, so there's already that. Yeah, I just saw J League matches, but yes, they are better than us. Obviously, we're far behind from Europe in terms of playing quality. Why does Europe lead so much every other continent in football? Or it's because the leagues in Europe have been running, or let's say organized football has been running for more than a decade, for more than a century, right? Some of these leagues are close to 100 years old, even though, of course, in the new Aftas, the Premier League, of course, in the 90s, the Bundesliga was started in the 60s. The La Liga, I think, if I'm right, was 30s. So they've been around. J League is there since the 90s, right? So therefore, even they're growing. They so for me, even in smaller countries, football has been around, and therefore football in Europe is on a much higher level. I think AIFF wants its own franchise league like the one they have proposed. So Robert, that was not a franchise league. That was a league, but was it a franchise league? I'm not sure. And who would come forward to say, listen, I'm going to give AIFF 4 crores to play in that league? I don't see that. I don't even see the clubs are there to paying that. So therefore, that league makes no sense. So why didn't you decide to take football and it's are you no longer interested in management, especially football? Utsav, if I get an offer, I will look into it. Let's put it this way. I'm not saying that I won't take up an offer, but at the moment, I'm fine with my advising, managing, consulting roles. That's gives me fun, gives me joy, gives me the chance to interact with people, and yeah, I'm fine with that. So therefore, from that perspective, it's good, and yeah, it gives me joy per se. But if someone would approach me, why not? Just asking, can you or anyone make arrangements for the Bagan youths to play and participate tournaments in Germany, maybe through a season or just a tournament? Is it possible? See, through a season, we don't have tournaments. Through a season, you have your leagues, right? Um, and the cup competitions. So at youth level, it's similar to the men's tournaments. Yeah, surely could be organized. How do you possibly see Arsenal versus Barca final? Bujan, I said earlier, I think if you would ask me, I would think PSG versus Barca more likely. Again, you can't count out Arsenal, especially can't count out Inter, but Inter has been sort of dropping in the last few weeks. So therefore, yeah, I would say PSG Arsenal. PSG, uh, yeah, PSG FC Barcelona in the final. Paris versus Arsenal. As I said, PSG to me is my favorite in that tie. All eyes on Champions League semi-finals. Yes, Frank. Today, PSG Arsenal. Tomorrow, Barca Inter. And tomorrow the Super Cup semi-finals. Yes, of course. Super Cup semi-finals. The Mohun Bagan versus FC Goa. 4:30 kickoff at the Kalinga Stadium, and then at 8 o'clock it is Mumbai City versus Jamshedpur FC. By the way, how even a two centre back, two striker, one as one ever function. Let's wait and see. Yeah. That's for the Mohun Bagan club officials to think and sort out and figure out what's the best way. Yeah. Do you think it was a mistake to make ISL a first in league and let it continue as 2-month IPL start tournament? Utsav, that would have not been allowed by FIFA to be just a short, I mean, not 2 months, but it was already when we were there, it was 11 weeks with the playoffs. Um, so therefore, from my perspective, I think there was no other option than to make it a league the way it has become, and yeah, therefore it is the way it is, right? 1 hour and now nearly 13 minutes. Once again, reminder: like, share, subscribe, and watch the other videos as well. FC Goa versus Jamshedpur FC, says Frank. I think Mohun Bagan versus Mumbai City, as I said, again, we can have a discussion afterwards. How do you find Vardy's career? Jamie Vardy has achieved something which I think he himself, as a younger self, would have never thought. Problems, left football, started working, played 8th division, worked his way up, got into Leicester City. Leicester City exploded. He was part of that journey, became an England international, top scorer of the Premier League, won the FA Cup. Yeah, actually a movie script. His career is a movie script. If you see from where he's come, what he's reached, what he's able to do, a lot of respect for Jamie Vardy, and let's see where he goes. I mean, suppose he's saying that he thinks that he can still play Premier League. So therefore, that will be interesting to see. But to me, what Jamie Vardy has been able to achieve is very, very special. Yeah, and let's see how far I can go. A lot of patience for discussion on football on our. God bless you. Thanks, Frank. I love these discussions. That's why I'm doing this. Enjoy this. The last few days, we've had a few people who've been trying to speak about things in a way which I don't like, but again, I leave it to them. And yeah, Indian footballers should follow Vardy. Oh, Zoravar, 100%. He's gone down and then went all the way up. That's the beauty of it, And yeah. Leeds United is back in the top tier. Hope they will stay longer up there and make a formidable squad. Given the new reinforcement of financial fair play in the Premier League, they should try hard. Yes, of course, and Leeds United have the San Francisco 49ers as well as Red Bull as now stakeholders, so they're financially in a better position that they've been in the past. So it'll be interesting to see how they can sort of macro and micromanage the team, the club. Daniel Farke has done very, very well. And let's see. Well, now the one thing is being speculated, Robson might be an extra foreigner register just for ACL2, similar to Nuno kind of situation. Could be. Angry Birds, yeah, could be. But if I'm bringing players for ACL2, shouldn't I try to bring in better players? So, so let's see. And Dimi is most probably leaving Mohamed Supergiant. That's what I've also heard. Dimi Petratos could be on his way out from Mohanbagan Supergiant, which of course would be, end of an era. Very influential player in the last few years. But the question is now, how do they, what's the next step? How do they figure out the squad composition? I think that's going to be the big question for Mohanbagan Supergiant, and that's not an easy one in my opinion, and let's wait and see what they do. Dimi leaving makes sense for his career. I agree. If Vardy plays in ISL, would he be the greatest foreigner to play ISL? No, whatever. I said in season 1, 2, 3, you've had much, much bigger players and names. Again, said it at the start when we were discussing in the show. I had Nicolas Anelka, I had Freddie Ljungberg, bigger than Jane Vardy. We've had Trezeguet, Del Piero, Roberto Carlos, Materazzi, Diego Forlan. So that list is good. Sorry. Are you aware when the Intercash extra foreigner case judgment will come? No, Shubham. No, Apala. Sorry. Are you aware when the Interkashi extra foreigner case judgment will come? No. Shubham, in my opinion, there is no case. Again, players have been signed, kept. Yeah. I know, was Robin Dutt ever interested to do something in football? Yes, he has. We've even discussed it a few times, a few things, but never has come of it. If AIFF signs the MRA deal, would it be the best thing they have done in the last 3 years? Renal, a theoretical question. At the moment, given the realities, it would be the right thing to do. Is it the best thing in the last 3 years? I don't know. Could be something else which might have been also as good as if they've done, but it would be a wise thing to do at this moment, given the realities. No, like he's just going to be a squad member for 6 ACL2 requires a don't hope Mohamed to. I don't hope Mohamed to go. I don't think they bring these players. Yeah. Anyways, that's the problem, right? If you're going to bring these kind of players, I think the hope of going very, very far. Let's see what happens. What kind of wages do players get in 3rd division of Germany, and from which division players start playing full-time professionally? I'm not going to go into how much they earn professionally. The 3rd division is certainly professional. The 4th division sometimes is pro, semi-pro. Some of them actually amateur. So yeah, 3rd, 4th division is where you go there. Is there any other company that is in intention of running the ISL other than FSTL? No, there's no interest. There's no interest at all. No one wants to do it. And I don't think any good player would love to earn this for the first match this season. Yeah, but Nuno Rice did that, right? So Angry Birds, we already have a case. With all due respect, all the names you mentioned, I'm just mentioning one more name, and he was really good in the ISL, and that's Maluda. He was so good even when he played in ISL. Yeah, Floho Maluda. That's what I'm saying, Pujan. I will most probably have missed one of those names early on in the ISL days. Had a lot of good names, great players. Yeah. I think his Kalinga ego won't allow him to sign the deal. I think that has nothing to do with his ego. And that's, By the way, I read an article that said Churchill Brothers owners claim not to give back the I-League trophy. Are they even aware? They're aware of everything. And be it Churchill, be it Namdhari, be it AIFF should have given a reply today to CAS in regard to the case. So they should be aware. Let me put it this way. Did they do what they were supposed to do? That I can't tell you. That's the problem with these guys, right? So therefore, that's another situation that we have. Yeah, let's wait and see. Once more, right? Yeah, no, as an exceptional guy, just want to stay with his friends as it seems. Anyway, that's yeah. With FIFA gonna ban Churchill? I don't think a ban is an option. I think what is a danger for Churchill Brothers, I would think, if all of this goes as per plan and all these things they come out tumbling out of the closet, that individual fines will be issued to Churchill Alamau and his family. Could be even, FIFA ethics might look at it. I think Churchill might get a heavy financial penalty from FIFA down the road and maybe points deduction, right? So that's something which I was thinking yesterday, that might be, uh, yeah, it's something that might be forced on them because of the way that they've handled this matter. Random question, but do you think the I-League trophy is kind of lackluster and they should try a new design? You have a point, Shubham. You have a point that, yeah, I mean, none of these trophies, even if you look at the picture here of the Super Cup, none of the trophies are really exciting. I think the ISL ones are a little better in that way, but yeah, could do something with them. Especially if you see the FIFA Club World Cup trophy or Shield rather, yeah, it looks very exciting. Liston should now understand he's now being compared to Bangladesh Premier League legend, GOAT of ISL for reason. God, I mean, words. Nice one. When AIFF top brass incorporated and since 90s, do we have any good AIFF in the last 30 years? When I don't think the AIFF was incompetent over the last 30 years. So if I look back at Mr. Dasmunsi, Prabhu Patel as presidents, did their thing. I know Alberto Colasso and Kushal did what they need to do. Sunanda was I-League CEO. Yeah. So therefore, to me, yeah, I would say they weren't as incompetent as we've been now in the last 2.5 years. Your thoughts on India versus Thailand? Why has this match been kept? Considering none of Hong Kong, Bangladesh, and Singapore, Thailand has the level increased. XYZ, it's not about our Thailand approached India, so it was the other way around. Colin Chapman has an ego too. Did anyone ever take him seriously? I don't want to sound mean, but he doesn't even have any experience running a local club in this situation. Yeah. So that's the thing. And then we discussed about this Kalancha will run right away the hype that evening. Yeah, exactly. That was what we discussed. With all due respect, what did you actually do, sir? Shubham, I work in football and nowadays not only football but in sports. In the management, in the administration, in the governance part of the thing. And yeah, been doing that for more than 2 decades. The Robson Wonder also took and had, it seems, okay, took place. Okay. Your thoughts on women's U20 group 4, you think we can qualify with the Swedish coach? Quite doable. Myanmar, Turkmenistan, Indonesia. Yeah, I think my concern was to look at who would be the top team in that bracket, We got the weakest one by far in Myanmar, so that's a positive. I don't know if Indonesia is going to try and bring in players of origin also in the women's team. If they start doing that, they might be coming and worrying to us. Turkmenistan, physicality on their side, so therefore could be an issue. But I think it is more doable than the senior women's. Are you following India-Pak issue? Yeah, I'm following it. Did you watch Michel Ballack play in the early 2000s? Was he at the same level as Lampard, Gerrard, Zadorf? Wow. I would have said he was higher level of Lampard or Gerrard. Zadorf, maybe not, but it was higher than Lampard or Gerrard, in my opinion. I mean, yeah, Lampard and Gerrard were obliterated by him, right? What is the scenario of cricket in Germany, Dada? It has a possibility to become an Olympic sport sooner or later. Any progression or talks on this? Only Indians, Pakistanis, Bangladeshis, and maybe some Aussies and some Brits play cricket. Germans don't bother about the sport. It is becoming Olympic in 2028, yeah, but it is one of those sports where in Germany nobody cares. I think continental Europe doesn't care. Let's be very honest about that. Just want to know what you actually do, sir. I read that you were with Mumbai City FC and then saw your LinkedIn where you were closely associated with German academies. So I wanted to know what do you do. Not a problem. As you said, Mumbai City, yeah, I was there in 2014 when it was set up, when it was started. I've done work with Reliance before the ISF started, set up also the grassroots youth program of Round Glass. Punjab also did worked with other entities as well, other parts of the world. Was involved in the FIFA AIFF, FIFA AFC roadmap as well. So yeah, I've been on that. Ballack was my elder brother, is one of my favorites. Okay. So yeah, Michel Ballack at his time, in his prime, yeah, very successful player. Part of that 2002 Bayer Leverkusen team, or Bayer Leverkusen players, the German ones who finished second in the Bundesliga, lost the Champions League final to Real Madrid, lost the German Cup, and finished second in the World Cup. Roberto was the only one who actually won the World Cup, so you got a trophy, but otherwise, so yeah. Reliance, yeah, Nadim did something of them. I only see some South Asians here in Germany playing cricket in neighborhoods. Yeah, Roshan. I don't know. I wouldn't know even one German who's playing cricket. So that's the reality of So that's the thing. Reliance dominates U15 league. Okay, Nadim. Slowly, with nearly 1.5 hours, 1 hour, 28.5 minutes now through. Totally coming to an end. Once again, reminder, do leave a like, do leave a share, and subscribe to the channel. Yeah, we're growing slowly, nicely along, that more and more people know about the channel. And I'll go more into what you're asking. Are you aware of any details about that? If C moved to Delhi, the name of ground they want to use. Nothing, Shubham. So far, from what I know, they've not decided on those facts. Only know that they want to move to Delhi. Yeah, that was clear. That the question was, are they going to do it this summer or next summer? And name not clear. I guess backup option will always be the Nehru Stadium, which I don't think is a good option. Ambedkar, can it be made ready? I remember Akshata went there last year and it looked in shambles. And so therefore, that's the reality. Neil says, they're doing good. Talking about Reliance and U15 Minerva dominating with aged players. Okay. I think that's been the concept of their success over the last decade. Yeah, 1 hour 30 minutes. Once again, a reminder: if you haven't liked this video, share this video with others, that other people potentially join in our conversations. As always, thank you for that. And yeah, we'll be back tomorrow after the two Super Cup encounters, Mohun Bagan versus FC Goa, and then Mumbai City FC versus Tripur FC. And RSS is someone who's never watched Serov play. Why you think Serov never ranked high in Ballon d'Or ranking like Lampard, Balak, Kaka, etc. was better than them? Because there were better players in this generation, I would say. Right. So that would be my advice. My understanding. What will be the fate of modern sporting next season? Will ever still be more careful in admitting I-League winners now in ISL? At the moment, Shubhan, they are not in the ISL. So therefore, for me, if you ask me, sorry, Mohammed Sporting are not an ISL team, and therefore, if Churchill Brothers don't show the necessary guarantees, I don't see them getting into the ISL. Now, with that, I end tonight. As I said once more, if you haven't liked the stream, share it with others to watch it so that they can join in the coming days. And tomorrow I'll be back after the game, most probably around 10 o'clock. And catch you soon. Good night, everyone.